Match day one down for the Reds. Norwich 0, Liverpool 3. Shaka Hislop with us now. And Shaka, we get a 3-goal win, clean sheet at Carrow Road. And Liverpool seemed to get more impressive and comfortable as the match went on.
Of course. And everybody wanted to see how Liverpool would start this season. They started last season well, but then faded badly during the course of the season. Of course, Van Dijk going down injured, and they just couldn't find their stride. In the end, maybe some good fortune around them finishing in the top 4. That was a blessing for them. But we wanted to see how this Liverpool would fare. Are they the team of 2 seasons ago, or are they closer to the team that we saw last year? Van Dijk on from the start, that was a huge bonus for them, playing alongside Joel Matip. And though there was no Robertson, it seemed to be the Liverpool of old, albeit a little bit of fortune with their first 2 goals. I don't think anybody could deny that Liverpool were deserving of the 3 points, an off-start running start.
Well, Shaka, you mentioned that cold stretch. They couldn't put together any points for a spell at Anfield, an empty Anfield at that. But then Liverpool closed last year, 26 points from 30, largely the same core as they had in that championship run, the first ever Premier League title for them from 2 years ago. Why is it that so many pundits, it seems, has them in that tier 1A, just below City, Chelsea, and United to contend this year?
Well, the thing is, you want to have them in tier 1, given what you saw, as I mentioned, from them 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they won the Premier League and Champions League, respectively. But then you saw them fall off badly. And while there were a lot of mitigating circumstances around all of last season, which nobody needs me to go into, oftentimes you're looking to see how well teams strengthen from season to season. Whether you're good, whether you win or not, there is a huge advantage to strengthening, to keeping that team on their toes, to keeping them motivated. And while Liverpool last season added Diogo Jota, which I felt from the get-go was an incredible signing and fitted in so well for them, but then he, and this is through nobody's fault, had an injury issue and wasn't able to feature as heavily as they would have liked till later on in the season. And again, I mentioned the injury to Virgil van Dijk, and replacing a player like him, regardless of position, when you were talking about indisputably the best player in that single position, if that player goes down injured, no matter what you do, you are always going to be lesser for it. And that was a challenge for Liverpool. Just how do you fill that void? And though they dabbled in transfer market, though they tried moving players around, it never felt the same. But we're now back to a Liverpool, at least on paper, that we saw of a couple of seasons ago. But still, outside of Diogo Jota, no real meaningful signings that says this team has moved forward significantly. Added to that, you've got Gini Wijnaldum, who moved on after he went out of contract and joined PSG in this off-season. So we are still in this little bit of a limbo as has Liverpool advanced? Or have they stagnated while the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea, and Manchester United have progressed? That is what we're waiting to see right now.
A little bit of consistency that we saw today at Carrow Road. Mohammad Salah scoring yet again in a match day one. Now 5 opening day goals from 5 since making the move to Anfield. 7 opening day goals in total, which is one off the record by Wayne Rooney, Alan Shearer, and I believe Frank Lampard is the third. Shaka, this guy's turned a 20-goal season, not into a standard, but a minimum. What is your expectation for Salah this year?
Listen, if Liverpool find their feet, if Liverpool play the kind of football that they do again, they at times seems no stopping Mohammad Salah. As critical as I was of Liverpool certainly in the early part of last season, let's remember exactly how good Mo Salah was. And even for him, I don't think he was at his best, but he's a finisher. And he has the instincts around the game that always finds him in the right place and the right time. I said there was an element of good luck to the opening 2 goals. Ball comes into him. Okay, not a great touch, but Diogo Jota is right there. But Mo Salah is again, and seemingly invariably the target. The second goal, Sadio Mane mishits a shot. Who does the ball ricochet perfectly for? Mo Salah. And he shows an unselfish aspect to his game as well, in picking out Firmino for the second. That's just who Mo Salah seems to be. Regardless of how and when you criticize him, he knows where to be. The ball seems to find him. That's something that you cannot coach. That is something that you see so rarely in the game. You call the names, Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney, and Frank Lampard epitomize that. Add Mo Salah to that list.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.